Hello guys, welcome back to episode 3. Me and Cam back again. Hopefully it should be an interesting one. I'm going to cram sort of round 5 and predictions for round 6 in this one. I think this is going to be the easiest way to do it. It just makes so much more sense and it's so much easier for us, I think.
And
definitely.
We're trying to cut down on the minutes that we do, so this is going to be really quick.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, we're still going to cover quite a bit and it might be, it's still going to be a podcast. We're not going to go away from that at all. It's just that we feel like sometimes that short videos are a bit better for people.
Yeah, and with us being back in work now, we're trying to just get as much as we can sorted, and then so it's easy
in
to
the
get
shortest amount of time, innit, really?
Yeah,
because both working opposite shifts, so it does make it a bit harder.
Yeah.
Now, round 5 had a bit of everything, didn't it? Off the field, on the field.
Yeah, there's a lot to go through.
I know. Obviously, crowds were back in it. People seem to love that.
Yeah.
But I think there was some cracking games, Manly and Broncos, Panthers and Eels.
Yeah.
But I think most sort of eye-catching bits came off the field, didn't it? With transfer news, really.
Yeah, and also talking about the round 5, why we're looking at it. Another interesting one is to see that Dragons got the first win as well.
I know, yeah, big boost for them. That Cameron McInnes, first time captaining him as well. Fair play to the lad.
I was quite surprised when I saw the result because I didn't actually manage to watch that game live, but when I saw the result, I was shocked. I was like, have I read that right? Or
thing is, Sharks are looking a bit dodgy this year, aren't they?
Yeah, they're kind of up and down, aren't they? Yeah.
Very much so. Very much so.
So now, let's talk about the Brisbane game first, because we saw signs of improvement, and then we definitely saw signs when they went 18-0 up against Manly, which surprised. Even though Manly had the 2 injuries,
Manly are a good team as well.
Yeah, I was thinking Manly would dominate really, and to be 18-0 up, was great for the Broncos, but 2018, 20 unanswered points really.
Yeah, and I think in the second half, they just seemed to go quiet. Broncos. It was as if they just thought, "Oh, this is over with now. We've won. Job done."
Yeah, I don't want to put blame on like the half spurring, but I think if you're a team that's winning 18-0, you have to have some kind of game management coming into that.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely,
you can't concede 20 points without scoring or having at least a threat. But
no, yeah, I get that. You get the game management. They should be able to close a game out quite easily.
Yeah,
really.
100%, especially 18-0 up.
Yeah, that was quite a big point, that, because don't get me wrong, Brisbane looked really good going forward at first half, and they looked good defensively. To keep Manly scoreless, that's a really good.
Yeah, I mean, if they can take some good signs out of it, and they can know that if they can perform the way they did at first half on a consistent basis, and find a way to close the games, they've got something good going forward, and they might make the playoffs.
Yeah,
but they're going to have to do something in round 6.
They're playing the Knights in round 6 now. They've got that. Is it Pangai Jr. coming back from injury?
Yeah.
But the Brisbane coach has come out now and said they can't be stupid and get suspended. Especially against the game, especially in a game against the Knights, who lost last week to Storm. They'll want a big game against the Brisbane, and they'll probably go in with a lot of confidence against Brisbane, knowing that Brisbane struggled to close out that game.
Yeah, well, it shows, doesn't it? Like, Brisbane, when they have players missing, they're vulnerable, and they're getting losses every week.
Yeah.
So basically, something needs to change, and obviously they need to be more disciplined on the pitch.
Yeah, definitely. See, now speaking about the Broncos game, now I know I'm going to skip a bit ahead here, but obviously they've got now the inclusion of Isaac Luke, which is an interesting signing.
Is that
the Dragons
immediately, or?
Yeah, he's there now. He's training. But he goes. Cameron McInnes plays a full 80, I think, off the top of my head. 9, and Dragons win. I know it's against Sharks, who are a bit of a dodgy side this year.
Yeah, I suppose you could look at it like that, but I mean, I think something had to change, and they had to push for a win because the whole system was going down the drain, and obviously with his job being on the line, the coach, he had to prove something. And I think the best opportunity was against Cronulla, like you said, the up and down, and
I like the look of that because it kind of shows like Isaac Luke is, he's got tons of experience, Kiwis, but I just think that kind of shows now to rest at Dragons players, like we've got to play or they are going to get rid of us.
Yeah, 100%.
We've got to actually kick in now and sort of get moving with it.
Yeah,
but yeah,
we were saying midweek, weren't we, about James Graham. I think eventually they'll look into it and they'll try and throw out the older players, to bring some youth.
Yeah, they will. And I hate that because I think Graham's still a quality player.
Yeah,
but I completely agree with that. I think he'll end up going, hopefully come back to Saints, but we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully. Now, going on to, like I said, big news outside of the NRL in terms of not on the field, off the field. Yeah. One of the big ones is Luke Thompson from Saints, leaving early to go to the Bulldogs. Now, it was said that he was leaving because the club was in a financial state where they needed the money, really.
Yeah.
And he took the decision upon himself to leave early, even though he would have stayed if he could till the end of the season.
Yeah, it was sorry.
No, go on.
It was like a messy situation, wasn't it, at the end?
Oh, yeah.
With Saints, there's something about he didn't want to take the furlough leave, so he wanted his full pay. But I think it's a good sign. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, I do want to say that we're just going off what we've heard and what we've read on news stories. We don't know the truth. So we're just sort of trying to give you all the facts about what's been said and things like that.
Yeah, but I think him going to the Bulldogs now, it's kind of like a saving grace, kind of. And if he can kind of pull the Bulldogs out of this kind of rut, then, he's going to get like the accolades and, the news stories about him.
Question though, Cam, do you think Tomo is the player they need? Now, I know it's going to bolster their forwards pack, but do you really think they need another prop in this current time? I don't think
they need one, but I think they need someone who's got that spark, that can influence the team. And I think, looking what he did at St. Helens, I think he's that sort of player that can, create a spark and, gather the team together and make them want to play harder.
Yeah, you've stumped me there, Cam. You took me by surprise. That was a top answer. Absolutely on fire already. Christ. Now,
right, I want to ask you something actually, because if I ask this question, you're a Saints fan, so
go on.
What do you make of the signing of Joel Thompson?
I think it's class, personally. I know a lot of people like on the Facebook Saints page and that are saying like, oh, he's too old and stuff, but he's 31. People are forgetting when we signed Zeb Taylor, who's played a good couple of years at Saints, he was 32. Yeah. And I think Joel Thompson, he'll be well drilled at Manly.
Yeah.
Coming from playing under a coach like Des Hasler, he won't take any shit. He will make sure that the well drilled, he keeps himself fit, things like that. And I actually can't wait for him to come and play. I know it's only next year, but I really can't wait for him to come over and play and see what he does. Be interesting to see who leaves with Taylor and Peru coming to the end of the contract. You'd think Taylor would go, being the older one of the two, and Peru playing some of his best footy recently before lockdown and like the last couple of seasons. But I really can't wait for him to come over.
I think what'll help is like you said, his experience, and with the young lads obviously coming through at Saints and obviously playing, I think it's going to help, to mature him a little bit more and go through the game knowing like his experience and how to put a game away and how to get to the finishing line.
And the other thing is, he's a tough player.
Yeah.
And we keep saying it about, when we pick our all-time teams, which if you haven't seen, go and check them out. We are a lot of the forwards we put in. We do tend to say they lead from the front. They don't take a backward step.
No, 100%.
And I think at the minute that's what Saints need. With Tomo going, I think we need another enforcer there to take his place. Now I know he isn't going to play prop, but he's going to be in the forwards. 80-minute second row work. He's going to put big stints in, big shifts. So I really can't wait.
And you've got to think like players running off each other, like him he'll be probably the second runner behind Alex Walmsley. And you got to think of the meters that they'll gain from stuff like that. And then finally, like making a play at the end of them sets.
And
I think it'll be a massive hope.
Yeah, especially if as well they bring in that 6 again rule like the NRL have done into the Super League. I think that's where teams that are on top now will struggle. And I think with players like, and I don't mean to sound big-headed, but there's a lot of other teams that will work with, especially Castleford as well, with the likes of Richardson. But I think Saints will benefit if they do it because of the likes of Farge and Lomax, who like a bit of broken play, got good footwork, strong, coming off the back of the likes of Lees and Walmsley, Roby coming out and Aaron Smith coming out of dummy half. I think it'll benefit us a lot. And then the likes of Percival when we get him back fit, Scooting, and Tommy Mack. I think that if they do it, I think Saints will be dangerous.
You look at Roby at hooker. He's one of them players who he doesn't have to pass one way. He literally can pass to the opposite direction.
Oh yeah,
he's not even looking there. So that's what's going to help him a lot.
And he knows when to run as well, which is always good. A lot of dummy halves get caught up. He does get caught up, but not a lot. Once every other game. But yeah, I can't wait for him to come over.
I think hopefully, carrying on with Super League, I hope it helps Wigan because if you look at Bevan French, if he's still playing 6, then that should help us a lot with the speed he has and stuff like that.
No,
we'll just have to wait and see whether they do implement that rule. I hope they do.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's benefited NRL. I love it now. The one referee, which Super League's already had. Yeah, and it's just so much. It's just so quick pace. It's amazing.
I think with it being quick paced, it catches more eyes, and that's better for the sport. Really, it'll get more eyes in. So
you finish your sentence then as I was taking a drink. Caught me off. So now, next one I want to talk about. I think we both want to. Being that he left a rival club of ours. Good win to Sharks.
Yeah.
Interesting for Sharks. Obviously, they needed it with Morris Twin leaving.
Yeah, I think there was a massive hole after Morris left. And
then obviously that Bronson Sherry getting done for steroids. They needed a good centre.
I think it all comes back to what you said at the start, really. It's like an on and off season for the Sharks. And especially when they've got Sean Johnston, he can't do it all himself. He needs some more players, that are a bit more electric that can, go off the back of him and stuff like that.
And speaking of Goodwin, fellow Souths player, isn't
he? Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Was he part of the grand final team?
I don't think so. No, it could have been. Don't quote me, but
the thing, either or, he's getting on a bit now. He has a bag full of experience. He's won trophies over here. Granted, it's just Challenge Cups and things, but I think Sharks will benefit from having him, definitely.
Yeah.
And Dugan's been in a bit of form recently as well.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing with Dugan over the years. He's just been inconsistent, really, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So
definitely. Now, moving on. There's 2 stories here, Cam, that I want to talk about. I'll start with the one that you know of, and I think it's probably the biggest news to come out of the NRL.
Yeah.
Close second, I'll tell you in a second. Kalen Ponga, 4.5 mil, 4 years. Worth it?
I'm just going to say, 100%. I think you look at how many eyes Ponga's bringing to the sport now, even people at rugby union that might not have it. If he's had talks, people are going to want to think, who's this guy they're talking about who wants to come to union? And with him being for 4 years, it just shows his commitment to want to bring Premiership to Newcastle. And to be honest, I don't see why not.
That's what he said, isn't it? He said that he wants to lift a trophy at this club. And I think fair dues to the lad. He wants to prove it against other teams. And I think
he said it in the first podcast. I think you look at the players that Newcastle have got, it's hard to believe that, they won't win it or at least be a top contender to at least get to the grand final.
And I know Pierce is getting on a bit now, but he's still got a couple of years left in him, maybe a year. And then you've got the likes of Ponga, who's young, Clemmer, who's in his prime now. You've got so many good players there that are young that you could build a team around.
Yeah.
And
I think the scary thing is that I think he's 22 or something around that age.
Yeah.
He's not even reached his peak yet, which is scary.
No.
I think what he's doing, like, he's ripping everyone apart, and to think it's just a kid who's not fully experienced, I think it'll be crazy.
I'll say now, and I'll go on record, you can give me a forfeit if you want. I don't think Newcastle will get to the grand final this year. And now that's only because when I watched them against Storm and then against Panthers and against the Raiders, well, against the Raiders, actually, they did very well. They scored a couple of tries, but against Panthers and Storm, they just couldn't score tries in first half.
Yeah, I think down to like the creative mindset. I think you've got to look at the Storm game. I think there was one part in it where Ponga, he could have passed, probably could have scored, but he decided to go himself.
Yeah, I just think in a finals footy, you don't get them opportunities. I think you have to. Obviously, you're not going to score on every play, and I think you do have to build that momentum and things like that, to score. But I think you need to score some sort of points in the first half, being with a shout of doing it.
I think with Ponga this week, I think with the news coming out, obviously, about this $1 million contract, he kind of wanted to prove something, that he's kind of worth the money.
And I think he's that type of player.
Yeah.
I think he is that type of player, definitely.
Yeah.
Right. So, Cam.
Yep.
This next one is from South Sydney.
Go on.
Right. They broke the record because it's the richest contract in league and union for a teenager. Right?
Yeah.
He is 16 years old. Right? On a 1.7 million deal over 3 years. God. Joseph Suale. Basically, they're saying he's a freak. He's unbelievable.
Have you seen any?
Him because I've not seen any sort of highlights or things like that. This was literally, I clocked it when I was just making sure that I had other bits on there, and it popped up for me. Basically, they were saying union teams were sniffing around him, and Souths wanted to keep him in because he's that good, and they want him to make his debut as soon as he is able to.
Oh my God!
He's going to have to live up to that, isn't he?
I mean, at that age, I think you don't understand how much money is really. I think he kind of has to prove it clearly at that money. But it'll be good to see. It'll be good to see what he can bring to the team. Obviously, with them recently in form, I know it was only the Titans, but in that game, he looked quite dangerous.
Latrell Mitchell, he had an outstanding game. Yeah, he had an outstanding. It'll be interesting. Go on.
I was a bit scared when I think it was Cook that gave him the short ball and he bobbled it, and I was like, no.
That would have summed it up. But I thought he played an outstanding game.
Yeah, it was one of them, wasn't it, that he was just involved in most plays, and I think it's gradually got better. Like, I think we talked about it in the first podcast and the second. Like, he's shown signs, and I think it was only a matter of time before he hit some form. So
I'm just going to see, sorry, Cam, because there was another story as well. It's not that big. It was just that Tedesco someone's come out and said that he should go to the AFL or America.
Here we
go.
We'll move on to that at the end, because I've got a controversial thing that I'm going to say at the end.
Go on. I want to hear this.
We'll go through the process, and then at the end I'll hit the bombshell.
All right, no worries, no problem. So, next thing, what should we talk about first, Cam? What do you reckon?
I think we talk about, retirement.
This has probably been the most controversial thing to come out of the NRL. Do you think Cam Smith should retire?
Personally, I think no. I think he's got another year or two in him. I think if you look at the Storm team, I think you look how influential he is on the team. I think it'd be stupid to try and force him into retirement, try and get in his head, try and retire, because in that Knights game, I think he was outstanding. I think burn on, he was the best player on that pitch.
See, now, a lot of people have said a few things here, that he should retire, he should stop being selfish, he should make way. he should take like a pay cut. It's not all about him. But then it's like if Storm had a player to replace him, surely Cam Smith would be the first to put his hand up and go, all right, I'll play less minutes. I'm getting on a bit. Have a rest. It might prolong his career then if he takes, say, like 20 minutes off a game.
Yeah. Well, like I said to you, when I watched that podcast with Matty Johns, if you've still not watched it, I'd definitely watch it. But, people try and make out these stories like he's selfish, stuff like that. But you listen to the podcast, and I don't care what you say, he sounds like the most down-to-earth player that you could talk to. Matty Johns will probably tell you the same, but
I fully agree with that. He does seem like that.
You look at what he's done in his career, I think he deserves the money. He deserves the credit. He doesn't deserve people to come out and try and tell him to retire, because I think he's still class. I think he's got another year or two, like I said. I think Storm needed.
I think Storm are a team that would be like, listen, we've got this upcoming lad. We think he's the next thing for us at 9.
Yeah.
Can we, what can we do about it? I don't think they'd let Cam Smith take up the full thing. And Cam Smith has won them so many games over the years, still getting on a bit. I think he does deserve a bit more respect.
Well, he
is the key player
for like Melbourne or something.
Yeah. And it's like, they have got Cam Munster, who is quality.
That's the thing I was going to say, though. Like, if they was trying to make him retire or something like that, I think you look at that team and it goes from a contender to pretty much rebuilding again. I think because Munster won't be able to handle carrying that team on his own.
Because there'd be no one else there for him. I know don't get me wrong, the pack could be unbelievable. The pack could be unbelievable, but they wouldn't have anyone in the in the centre of the field getting their hands on the ball.
Yeah,
exactly.
So basically, we're saying nope. No, don't retire.
Definitely not. I don't think he'll retire for a good couple of years. At worst case scenario, like I said, if you bring in a new lad through, see if he'll just give up 20 minutes on a pitch.
Yeah. That's all they need to do. Just use him to control the game. Don't use him to burn him out.
No, fully agree. Now, bringing it back to home, Cam. Sean Wayne has cut a New England coach. Yeah. Obviously, an ex-Wigan coach as well, has now come out and said about Victor Radley. Now, for people who don't know, Victor Radley, loose forward for Roosters, can play at 9. His dad's from Sheffield, so he's got England heritage. And because he hasn't committed to Origin, or he's not played for Origin, Team New South Wales, or he's not played for Aussies, he could still be up for grabs for England in the World Cup. Yeah. So Sean Wayne's come out and said, if he can prove to me he's English and wants to play for England and gets in touch, then I'll have a look. Would he? Or should he? I mean, I'd take him.
Right, but should he? I'll take him, but I think you should look at what Wayne's saying, and I think you got a player like Victor Radley. I know Wayne might look at it like, I want to get people from Super League, get them recognised, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a no-brainer. You don't pass on something like that. You go out and try and get him. You don't get him to try and come get you.
But the thing is, it's like what the thing. It's like if he wants to just pick players from Super League, fair enough. But then, are you really going to leave out the likes of George Williams, Josh Hodgson, Whitehead, Bateman?
Yeah. But I think going back to Radley, I think for him personally, I think he definitely wants to play Origin. I mean, if you're from Australia, I don't see why you wouldn't want to play it.
He suits the game, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He just suits it down to a T.
I think the way Australia's international team's gone at the minute, I think with all them big players retiring, I think it'll be good for him to have Victor Radley in the middle, because obviously the 13 positions, it's changed massively now. Like we were talking about last time, it's not as much just be a brute. It's more about have light feet, good footwork.
Take a hit,
and take a hit,
I think with Radley, I don't think, obviously we don't know him, but I guarantee his mentality isn't going to be, there's loads of other players in my position that will get picked. But then I think he'll look at it and go, if I want to actually play on the international stage, England, probably one of my better options. And now I only say that because if you think
it'll be the
Sean O'Loughlin is retired,
yeah,
Burgess isn't there anymore. But then because you look at the 13s that the Aussies have, Jake Trbojevic, maybe not so much Cam Murray because he's only just starting, but he's coming up as well.
And
I think Victor Radley might see it as an easier option.
I'll be controversial. I think Trbojevic, but between Murray and Radley, I think Radley's the better player. It's hard for me to say because I'm a Radley fan, but
no, yeah,
I think they're two different players, though, mate. I think they do play the same. I think they're just two different players.
Right, let's get back to it. Let's get back to the question. Should he play for England?
No, I'm going to say no.
If you were Victor Radley, no. I'm going to say no. But I think he would be class if he did. England Rugby. For England Rugby League, it'd be class.
I think you'd just give us the World Cup now if he said but I don't think he should. I think because he's going to play his career in the NRL. I think if he's going to notice that players that are going to, we're playing Origin next week, mate. What are you doing? I can't play it. I think that's going to be like, the type of thing.
Yeah, and I think we've said before, he just shoots it down to the tee, doesn't he?
Yeah. I think eventually he'll obviously be the starting lock in Origin, but as of Trbojevic being there still, I think there's still a lot to prove.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Cam,
go on.
This is quite a hard one, this now, and it's been talked about, and I think the Panthers and Eels game kind of sparked this conversation into light. Yeah. Who would you, going off the games that we've had, I know it's not a lot, 5 rounds, sorry. Who should be the New South Wales halves? There's one definite for me at the minute, but...
Right, I'll tell you them both, and then I'll tell you the players that should be in conversation.
Go on.
I think Moses, Pearce, Cleary, and obviously Whiten, and I don't know who else, but we'll go from them. Whiten, he's proved himself in Origin. He played centre, didn't he, last year?
Yeah, he did.
I think he'll play phenomenal there. I think there's no point changing him if he's already playing decent there in Origin. I think Cleary, he's come back, not quite proved himself. I know it's only been one game on it.
Yeah.
I think there's time, but at the minute, I think it'd have to be Moses at 7 and Pearce at 6 for me.
See, I think that's where they're going to struggle this year because it's with James Maloney not being eligible, or not eligible, but not being there now. I think we're going to miss him because he just controlled the game and he led him around park, and things like that. But I have to agree. If it was me picking him, I definitely think Cleary's in the conversation. Whiten's in the conversation.
Yeah.
When I'd pick Moses because I'd pick Whiten, but I'd put him in the centres again because he's big, he's strong, he's quick, and Queensland struggled to deal with him, especially when they had it sounds harsh. This what's his name? Cam 7 for Queensland Cowboys played in centre. Michael Morgan.
Oh yeah.
Right, you've got little man on big man there, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I just think he was very dangerous in the centres. But I think Moses is sort of the top contender at the minute.
I think you just look at how good he's played recently. I think it'd be hard to not put him in at the minute. I think it'll be good clash, between who wants it.
Oh yeah,
who
definitely.
Wants that spot.
But then it's like you said, it's unfair to say. I think it is unfair to say Moses purely on the fact, like you said, Cleary's only played 1 game since.
Yeah. I think he'll come back and play great though.
Cleary. I thought he was class against the Eels. It was just they couldn't close out the game. But then I don't want to blame people, but I think if they had that Burton playing instead of coming off the bench, I think it would have been a different game. Because I think because that Burton's quite a clever kid, really playing.
Yeah, especially the game he came off. I think it was stupid that.
Yeah, you just put too much pressure on him.
Yeah,
give the kid a chance, But yeah, I definitely think Moses and Cleary are definitely number 7s.
Do you think Pierce should go in 6 or?
I don't know who else you'd take. Because I think you need someone that's got that experience of playing in big games. Because every Origin game 1, 2, and 3 are all big games.
Yeah.
And I think you need a big game player to do that.
Yeah, and I think you look at Maloney and you look at. Oh, that's a good shot, actually. I forgot.
Kiri's been on form recently. He's been controlling the game for Roosters.
You look at it, and look at it, Pierce, he's got Origin background. He's obviously played before. I think.
Yeah.
Kiri, like you said, he's never been given the chance, and I think it'll be a good time to do it because the way Origin is at the minute, it's so unpredictable with both sides because Queensland's no longer, an immortal team. You know what I mean?
No, so, yeah.
It's kind of.
I'm just making sure that Luke Keary is actually.
Yeah, he is. He's New South Wales.
He is New South Wales. Yeah, I just want to make sure before I said that, and you want to spark controversy. But I think Keary, Pierce, and then Moses and Cleary at the minute.
I think the way he's going at the minute, I think you should put Keary in there. But we'll leave that to a bit later.
I think, and I think Keary's a more exciting player. He can.
I think it'll bring more energy to it, but I think
definitely
there's experience beyond Pierce, so I don't know. It's going to be a hard decision, but luckily we don't have to make it. So.
Oh yeah, I'm glad that we don't have to make that decision. Now, other sports news. There's not really much to talk about, is there? I mean, when we're recording this, so this is going out. Yeah, so it'll be yesterday.
We're recording on Thursday night. So 1 second. If we're talking about football, let me check my ACCA first, because first thing you do when Prem's back, shove an ACCA on.
It's not sponsored. Not sponsored.
It's still 0-0. Still
0-0.
ACCA's don't drain.
And then you've got City and Arsenal, aren't you, going next? So footy's back, Cam. Can't believe it. I'd rather be able to go to a pub and have a pint, but.
Yeah, I'm glad it's back because obviously Liverpool can finally win. And you can't have anyone saying, "Oh, you won it by default." Nah, we won it. We played the games.
It's not going to happen. But what would you do if they actually bottled it? What would you just stop supporting them? Because Liverpool are known for it. You have to admit.
I'd go down south. I'd walk into the sea, and I'd never come back.
Just keep walking. Just don't stop and don't turn around. Just keep walking. Just keep walking. Yeah. Right. Well, so there's not much sports news, is there? Liverpool are winning Premier League tie.
Nothing's changed in others since we talked about it, except from, like you said, the Prem.
The podcast after Liverpool win, are we having a Liverpool special edition?
Dad, we're having a bloody celebration. That's what we're doing.
As long as I can wear my United top, I'll be happy.
Mo Salah.
Now, looking back to the last podcast, we made some predictions. Now,
Bold.
You can remember your team for last week, which isn't a problem really. But
I remember my player.
Yeah. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first, mate?
Well, since I don't know my team, I've just got to play. I'll just talk about it. The player was Ponga, I think. I didn't check before.
It was Ponga. It was Ponga.
I think he had a decent game. I think they lost, so you can't really say he was a standout player. I think I do know the standout player, and we both agreed on it. But we'll talk about that after you've talked about yours. But I think, like we said, Ponga tried to kind of prove himself for his contract. He had a decent game, but I think now the pressure's off because everyone knows he's signed. I think next week he'll probably come out.
He'll step up again. And against Broncos, they're going to have to, because Broncos will be a dangerous side for nights. They can't afford to slip up any more than they.
No.
They I
think if they want to make playoffs, then they're going to
definitely
have to start winning.
So I went with Latrell Mitchell. Now, it was hard for me not to put him in, but I thought I kind of give benefit of the doubt just because the stats don't lie. And I think, so I picked, like I said, last week for my prediction for player of the round for us, I was going to say Latrell Mitchell.
Yeah.
But I've had to actually give it to Tedesco, Teddy.
Lad, right, you ready? I said I was either controversial.
Go on.
Greatest rugby league player of all time.
Hey, do you know what? He's up there at minute. He's. Do you know what? I'll go maybe not as far with the controversy as you. I'm still sort of tiptoeing across the line. I'll go with he's probably the best player in the world at the minute.
I don't think you need to controversial that.
I think he is.
I
mean, can I?
Right.
Am I all right to take your title of Statman Cam?
You can just take my title. For Tedesco, you can do anything, mate.
Whoa. Too far. So you look at it: 3 tries, 2 assists, 12 tackle breaks, 5 line break assists, and 194 run meters. Now, people say, "Oh, it's against the Bulldogs," but that's not the point. He still has to turn up and take that game serious. And
and to be a fullback and score and get like the stats that you've got, I think it takes a special kind of player. Not all fullbacks can do that. So
no, I can't. I just had to. Like I said, Latrell Mitchell would have been a second. You know, and I was after watching the Souths and Gold Coast game, I was going to give it to him.
Yeah, I'll say is if you're a Queensland fan, you have a chance now to change to New South Wales. You got till November anyway, so
yeah, come on. All you bandwagon Queensland fans only joining because you had 8 years of dynasty. Come on, you can't be doing that anymore.
New South Wales fan now.
Yeah, it is. Jump on the blue bandwagon. Right. Going on to the team of the round. Last week I had Panthers to beat Eels.
Like I said, I can't remember.
And I stupidly said Panthers will be at top at table by the end of the round.
Oh.
And I've had to give it to the opposite. I've had to give it to Eels. To come from 10-0 down to win 16-10.
Yeah.
I think Blake centre for me. I was trying to read my notes, but I've write it dead small at bottom of the page. I couldn't make it out. I'm lost. I've got it. So I have to give it to the centre. I have to give it credit to the centre Blake for Eels because he was just unbelievable. He scored one. I think he set 2 up as well. He was just unbelievable. And I don't know if you saw it, right? So Panthers scored.
Yeah.
So it's 10-0.
Yeah.
And it's clear he was lining up his kick. Eels put on the song. I think it was, that The Weeknd song, the new one. Blinded by the Light.
Oh my God! Did he actually?
They put that on, and that's what he got. The music video that he got done for. That's the song that was on it, and he missed the conversion. I thought that was quality by Eels. That fair play. And did you see? Go on. I'll let you do this because there's no. I was just going to say, did you see the Campbell Gillard? Shut up.
No.
Have you seen Campbell Gillard's tackle on Fisher Harris?
Massive. Jesus.
That was fair play. Big man on big man, that, wasn't it? Christ. Proper. He just sat him down, didn't he? Just picked him up and went, you just sit there. You go where I put you, son. But yeah, I had to go with Eels for team at round. I had to.
Yeah. I think you look at that team and, it's the first time in like 20 years or something they've won 5 games in a row, isn't it?
Last time they did 5 games in a row, they won Premiership. I think they are definite favourites.
I think it was 1992 or something.
Something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I think they are definite favourites now.
Yeah. I think it'll be hard to stop them, but I think they will slip up at some point because in the nature. But
I hope for Eels' sake that it's leading up to the finals, so then they can they can start the run again through the finals for them to win it.
Yeah.
I think if they hit their slope just as the finals start, that's where they'll be in trouble.
I hope they get to the point where like they know they're comfortable to get to the playoffs and they go, "Yo, hi Marsh, get back, lad." So he can get that ring.
Yeah, the comeback part 2. What predictions have you got, Cam? Oh, go on. Sorry, go on
for this round, for next round 6. Sorry.
Yeah. What have you got?
I think. Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Roosters Eels.
Not the only one.
Game of the round.
Yeah.
I think there's another contender for game of the round, which is Raiders Manly.
Yep.
But I think there's interesting wise. Sorry.
Yeah.
Interesting wise, I'd go with Storm and Penrith.
See, that's my game of the round. That Panthers, just because I think Storm will want to hit a bit of a run. I think Panthers will want to get a win under the belt.
Yeah.
And a bit of a underdog game. I think you've got Titans both on 2 points. Titans and Dragons both on 2 points.
I think going back to the Roosters Eels, I think the deciding factor is going to be how Tedesco plays. I think if he has another game like he did this week, last week, sorry, I think it's game over. I think that's going to be the first loss of the season. That Eels.
He's my player of the round. My prediction.
I think I'd have to say the same thing. But I would like to say, going back on round 5.
Go on.
Did you see that kick from George Williams?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Sean Wayne. He was saying he's sick of the NRL overhyping English players, which I think is stupid. I think, why would you want them to get the praise? I mean,
there's no overhyping there.
Yeah, I think Williams came out of his system. Wouldn't he want the praise for, developing Williams?
Definitely. I think there's a point. I think there's a point where it's like Wayne needs to realise that there are better players. If we want to win a World Cup, that's where we do it. There's no point going back now just to Super League clubs and going, right, we start again.
Yeah.
I think if we're to win it, I think that's where we get our players from. And I understand,
100%.
I don't mind him taking the piss out the Aussies and pissing them off and getting in their heads and stuff.
Yeah.
I completely get that because that's what Aussies do to us, really.
Yeah.
I remember I watched Warriors Down Under DVD about Great Britain Lions. There's 2 of them. One from the 2005 tour of Australia, or 2005 when they came over here, touring us, and it was Aussies, Great Britain and New Zealand. And then the following year where we toured Australia and New Zealand. And when we went over there, the critics just said, there's no chance. Great Britain have no chance,
Yeah.
So they do it to us. So it's only right that Wayne would do it to them. But I think he needs to lay off the English lads over there because I think that's where we win the World Cup, I think, from players that play with and against them players week in, week out. Definitely.
100%.
I just want to say about Tedesco, like I said, he's my player of the round. I think if he has, it's very rare that it happens, but if he has a bad game, I can't see Roosters winning.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree, really.
And I know people say, oh, well, they beat Broncos without him. But it was Broncos. It was a bad team. That was a bad Broncos side. It was granted, it probably wasn't 59-0 bad. But I think it was.
I think it's going to be probably a game of the year contender. I think with the players Roosters.
Are you going out with that, Cam? Are you going out with that game of the year, Para and Roosters? Is it a future grand final game?
Yeah.
Is it a future grand final game?
Right. I'd like to say so, but we're not.
Yeah.
I think I've had enough controversy for today, but.
Right. Is there anything you want to add, mate? I think we've covered pretty much everything that we wanted to there, haven't we?
Yeah. I'd like to say this weekend, hopefully, we're going to get our all-time New South Wales team.
Did we say we're going to record it Saturday night or Sunday?
Saturday or Sunday, and we'll try and have it out on Monday.
Yeah, definitely. Podcast will be around the same time, I'd think, won't it? Unless, obviously, rota's change and things at work and we get a full day off, we're trying
to get a schedule, obviously.
Yeah.
We both know we'll have roughly like some time in the weekend. But throughout the week, it's getting a bit busy at the minute. But we'll try our best anyway.
Definitely. But yeah, enjoy, guys. Take care of yourselves. Like, comment, subscribe.
Did you actually really take that much breath?
I did. Shut up. It's not been my best one. I'll let you outro it. I'm done.
Yeah. I think Callum said everything.
Jesus Christ.
That's everything.
Just finish it.
Peace, guys.
Up best.